Hello. Beep, 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 beep. Welcome back to the Court of the Edijester. How you doing, good peeps? What we got for you this morning? Becoming a gender specialist. What's normal? Anyway, here we have the chartered psychologist Laura Scaroni Bonomi. That's got the most wonderful cadence and alliteration. What a name. Fantastic, Laura. Chartered psychologist Laura Scaroni Bonomi, with reflections on her work ahead of a British Psychological Society workshop. This is in relation to gender lunacy and transnuttery. So, yep, you can expect the usual suspects and the absolute rubbish that we've come to expect. Before we get started, and I've got lots to say on this, become a warrior teacher. Come and buy me a coffee, do the usual. Anything you can help me to keep going, that'd be great. It's the end of the damn month. Scary. So what have we got here? Well, let's start off, shall we? Well, we have apparently a workshop coming up about gender at the British Psychological Society, who have beclowned themselves for years now. They're an absolute bunch of shysters in my book. Well, if a doctor's a quack, what do you call a psychologist that's gone rogue, that doesn't do their job, or a therapist? There must be a word for it, surely. Is it a head shrinker? Was that a psychiatrist? I'm never sure. You can let me know in the comments. So, what has Laura Scaroni Bonomi got to say? Well, approaching a decade ago, I entered the field of gender diversity. What on earth for? Why, woman? Why? Naively and knowing nothing about trans people. You're starting off from a premise there that's wrong, madam. There's no such thing. People make a claim of transness. It doesn't mean a damn thing. It's just the same as making a claim of Napoleon, right? So, who are you, Napoleon? Bonjour, je suis Napoleon. Oh, really? Are you now after the pastry? No, the savage dictator. What is wrong with you? So I entered the field of people who think they're something they're not, naively knowing nothing about these Napoleonic LARPers. It is a medical subspeciality. It's not. There's nothing medical about it at all. There is no medical basis for any of it whatsoever. They're just mad. Mad or fetishists. So you've got fetishistic men who are gusset fumblers. Are you listening, Laura? Bit of an education for you here. Who are gusset fumblers. And then you've got fetishistic women who fetishize gay men. Because it's, us they come after when they're LARPing around in their little outfits with their little whimsy beards. Right? What you're doing is encouraging lunacy. I think that's what you mean. Approaching a decade ago, I entered a field of lunacy, naively and knowing nothing about the lunatic people in it. It is a medical subspeciality. No, I thought a puzzle, an anomaly. Is that what you thought it was? God, there's a puzzle that must be done. She's like, open the Times. What's in the Times? A puzzle. With the years has come the realization that the only significant difference between trans and cis people is where your discomfort takes hold, really. Right? So let's get this straight. Let's get straight what Laura Scaroni Bonomi. It's just such a fantastic name. Is saying here. The only significant difference between trans and cis people is where your discomfort takes hold. First off, there are no cis people. Okay, I'm not a subset of male. I'm male. So are the men that LARP. Just like women aren't a subset of female, just like the female women who LARP as men, right? Okay, so there's no difference between the two because one category is that you're male or female. The others don't exist. Trans and cis is nonsense, right? Is where your discomfort takes hold. This is pure queer theory. In other words, it's not the bloke who thinks he's Napoleon, right? It's not the bloke who thinks he's Napoleon or the woman who thinks she's Bodicea that have the problem. It's you. It's your discomfort with the fact that you can't accept that kind of mental illness like schizophrenia should be normalised. Can you imagine if they said this about schizophrenia? If we could end that tomorrow with a click of your fingers, wouldn't we all? Not here. Not here. Right? Trying to justify the categorisation of these mentally ill people by using gender identity. Medical subspeciality, my backside. So you're Napoleon? We? Right, okay. So Mark here thinks he's Napoleon. No, I don't think I am Napoleon. I am Napoleon. How dare you? Do you wish me to invade your pathetic little country? All right, Mark, calm down. It's not Mark, it's Napoleon's. Cut it out, will you? Right, okay, let's turn to Jane. I'm not Jane, I'm Bodicea. See it? See it? Perhaps your gut wrenches because parenting is harder than you thought. What's that supposed to mean? Right, there's nothing hard about parenting that should make your gut wrench other than what people like you will do to their children. If your children are unwell, you get them treated by somebody who understands that they are unwell, not by some queer theorist who thinks it's okay. It's just insane. Perhaps your marriage is a slippery slope. Right, okay, a slippery slope of what? Well, trans people feel dislocated in their bodies in the way others see them, and as much as it might raise some eyebrows, my view is that the only way to make the right is by changing things on the outside. It doesn't just raise eyebrows, Laura Scaroni Bonomi. It doesn't raise eyebrows. It makes me think that you are promoting medical experimentation on people and children. That's what makes me think. It makes me think that you're doing that. But maybe I've got you wrong. Let's keep going, shall we? By making their appearance more like their mental image, sometimes through language, sometimes through style, and sometimes through medical interventions. Well, I don't like the way I look. I mean, I'm an old man now, but I used to be a young one. Surprise, surprise. And I was cute, right? I look in the mirror and I think, "Who the hell is this?" I can't naked. It's a different. I can't even look in the mirror. I walk around the flat in the dark if I've got my clothes off, lest I see my reflection. I'm like some kind of obese vampire. Honest to God, right? It's like Dorian Gray in reverse. Somewhere there's a picture of me looking beautiful, and this is what I've ended up as, right? And every time I can't catch a glimpse of myself when I'm wandering around buck naked, I think, God almighty, that needs ironing. You know what that is? Reality. Nothing I can do. I can't change it. I can't make my body younger. I can get nips and tucks and this and that, but I can't make it younger. But we're not talking about nips and tucks, are we? What we're talking about is genital mutilation. What we're talking about is the affirmation of a mental illness. That's what we're talking about. And then you say sometimes through language. The problem is, of course, Laura Scaroni Bonomi, is that the language you expect to be used is other people. You have to force other people to lie. You have to force other people to take part in Boadicea's and Napoleon's lunacy here. I am not a lunatic. I will invade your country. Right? Okay. That's what you're asking people to do. The answer is no. As psychologists carry the weight of medicalization, you shouldn't. There is no way that there's no way anybody should be able to give the okay for this to anyone. No way. As psychologists carrying the weight of medicalization, it can often feel as if we are perpetually searching the holy grail of what's wrong. I'll tell you what's wrong. They're mentally ill. It's not complicated. What made you this way? Nothing made them that way that is anything to do with medicine. What made them that way was indoctrination, transhausen mothers or transhausen fathers, watching television and thinking that trans is a real thing, reading about it in forums, right? Being obsessed with porn, all of the stuff that we know makes these people like it. Right? The difference is that what you want to do is affirm and go, yeah, it's okay. Right. But if you invite the silence in, I mean, it just says there, what were your parents like? It's like, did your parents affirm? If not, they're bad people. How can you be so sure? But if you invite the silence in, if you look closely, you start seeing patterns, ways in which people with a shared experience feel, behave, struggle, and thrive. And you realize that perhaps, and only perhaps, there are things we cannot comprehend. Rubbish. Absolute unmitigated rubbish. Just like I cannot know how much pain you're in or the way an orgasm feels when it traverses through your body. I mean, the irony of you using that example when the very thing that you're going to do is probably going to prevent the person from ever having an orgasm again. It's absolutely sick. Maybe as a cis person, you're not a cis person, love. You don't give up your femalehood to men. I will never quite understand what it is like to experience gender incongruence. Good. Right? If the gender, it's not gender incongruence, it's body dysmorphia. To wave at the mirror and expect someone else looking back at you. God, I do that every day. I thought if I passed by the mirror quick enough, would I look like I did when I was 30? To be estranged from your shadow, I didn't even know what that means. To be estranged, what's that? You're doing some young. Is it young? Have we got a bit of the young coming out? And perhaps, and only perhaps, that's fine. Then look again at your trans patient. Yes, the one you were just trying to dissect. And wonder, what if I don't have to find a reason for your existence? Yes, you do. You do. You have to push back against delusion. Because I've got, bony part over here in Boadicea going at hammer and tongs. Of course you push back. What if my experience and yours, though different, could be both valid? What if normal doesn't exist? Oh, cut it out. This is a dyed-in-the-wool, hard-nosed, queer theorist, critical social justice, lunatic. They are, said it. Sue me. Then, like a revelation, you might find within yourself non-judgmental curiosity. And then you might be able to listen, to really listen. No. We are not abandoning our critical faculties because you think it's being non-judgmental, right? Our critical faculties are that male is male and female is female. There is nothing else that comes outside of that. And fake claims to an identity that doesn't exist, which is in fact a mental illness, make people ill. And affirming them makes people ill. I think you should be struck off. Can you struck off these mind benders, quacks, or whatever you call them? I don't know. I could be wrong. She could be a perfect psychologist. You tell me. But I mean, she goes on about all sorts. When we get down to it, she does bodily autonomy. Brazilian butt lift. She's comparing a Brazilian butt lift and liposuction to getting your genitals mutilated and asking the rest of society to play along with your delusion. How do you feel about that, Napoleon? Vive la France! Any cosmetic treatment a cisgender person requires is granted reasonable. Right, okay. But daring to feminize about there's nothing cosmetic about whipping your genitals off. There is nothing cosmetic about having your breasts removed on the back of a mental illness. You do not give anorexics liposuction. You do not give alcoholics another drink. And you don't give drug addicts a syringe full of heroin. This is pure queer theory. She's a critical social justice queer theorist nonsense merchant. And she's working with the BPS, British Psychological Society, who should know better, but are absolutely captured. We need separate organisations. You've got to start a new one. To all the therapists out there, start a new one. You're going to have to, because this lot are totally and absolutely deranged. I'll see you later. Bye-bye all. Say bye-bye, Napoleon. Au revoir. See ya.